Auntie Fizzo's Purple Berry Punch. You want a punch? We've got your punch right here.
They made the statue big enough. Whoa, didn't realize we were getting so close to the action.
We got bases down there. If one of them got hit, then that strike will be the first of many.
This is your 2061st reminder to keep all personal items with you at all times. Thank you for picking up your personal belongings. We must all work together to keep Golden Ridge beautiful.
This station must have really been something before the war made its home here. If things escalate, might never be something again. Yeah.
Your patience is commendable, passenger. Please continue waiting quietly until the next tram arrives.
Looks like folks holed up here after the fighting started. Guess not everybody was eager to take sides.
Day 206. Morale? Low. Condition? Feeble. Voucher mech. Watching. Always watching. Many have left for Matriarch's mercy, seeking refuge with the Order. The fools. Can't they see the Order is no different from the Protectorate? The Order won't...
Incessant muttering to oneself may disturb fellow passengers. Further
We got an
conduct
appointment to keep at
violations
Matriarch's
may warrant
mercy.
notification
Let's
of
just
the
hope we don't get
Sentinels.
shelled too.
Try it, you doddering rattletrap. Such threats compel me no longer. I now answer to no one. I've seen through the lies of both sides. In time, everyone will.
Unwarranted optimism may be a sign of a more serious imbalance. Please see a curativist.
Somebody help us! Anybody, please! Finally, some help. We desperately need aid. Desperately. My family and I, we was making our way to the mercy camp for us refugees. We were set upon. My wife, my son were injured. Can't move them by myself. I had to leave them just past this tunnel so as I could go for help. But being alone is even more riskier. The Varachnids, I chased them off, but they'll be back. Please help us. Ain't nothing I can do for them, but you got weapon and medicines and can get us to the camp. Please. I don't... Vary, by my guess. She was bit on the thigh, high, like, can see bone. Or maybe white means infected? She's screaming all the time when she's awake. Then she goes to sleep. She in agony. And my son ain't waked since the attack. Hurry, please. We must hurry, or they'll be eaten. Or worse. Thank you. Thank you. This way. This way.
Got troublemaker. Ready to waste him. On your command.
Happy to assist in crafting more ammo, if you need. Being this close to DeVries, feels like we're finally on track to set the universe aright. Anyway, need something, Commander?
Yeah. Yeah.
Stranger, the Order bids you. In light of the recent attack on Auntie's Choice, you may want to make haste to Matriarch's Mercy. It's just down the road here.
So it was one of our bases that got hit. Well, I'm gonna be sick.
I can't rightly say, and that is rather concerning in its own right. It seems our temporary ceasefire with the corporatists may be at its end. Yes, this was an active war zone until recently, and now seems like it may be so again. Not quite certain why the attack was launched, but that is not under my purview. I'd surmise that when Auntie's Choice realized they couldn't get through our defensive measures, they wisely chose the path of diplomacy. Seems I was mistaken.
Well, it weren't our artillery that made that strike. I can tell you that much.
They must have done something to provoke an attack, which is why your safest path now is the one that leads to Matriarch's Mercy. The Order controls everything south of this point, but the rest is beset with various dangers. Zealots, scavengers, creatures, and corporatists. Well, not certain about that last one anymore after the attack. Cultists, mad to the last one. I believe they worship the rifts or some such. People will turn to anything to ease their discomfort during times of crisis, I suppose. They're both unstable and violent. Auntie's forces call them scrappers, and uses them for just that, gathering scrap materials. Excessive abuse of stimulants has made them severely unbalanced and prone to violence. They've also been known to pose as refugees, to lure their victims into ambushes. There are several camps of them northwest of here. I'd strongly advise keeping your distance. The creatures are of the genus Varachnid. They are large enough to kill a full-grown human, and exceedingly willing to do so.
All our efforts add to the equation.
I don't see anything else coming. Was it just the one?
Refugees, looks like. And after that strike, there'll only be more at the gates.
Another refugee? Just a moment. Allowing anyone into Matriarch's Mercy unprocessed will upset the precarious ratio of refugees to aid. We should have an opportunity for placement in approximately 7.85 days, presuming no unforeseen alterations. Ah, I seem to recollect one matching your description set for arrival. Pardon my slowing your ingress. It has been rather hectic of late. Welcome to Matriarch's Mercy. Rule number 1, no crowding. Rule number 2, avoid the exclusion zone. Our seer has predicted non-specific imminent danger. I thought the name was self-explanatory. Our seer predicted that a corner of the encampment is in terrible danger. Danger from what? Or when? Unclear. Stay away from it, and, in all probability, you won't have to find out. Our predictions spring from the universal equation, the very numbers that guide the stars. Only a fool ignores probability, and we don't suffer fools around these parts. Safety and probability are incompatible. Eventually, nowhere will be safe, including here. Not at present, but according to our predictions, the creation of a third rule is likely, if not inevitable. That's enough questions. Keep the line moving. You need anything, talk to Seer Wiley. He's in the lift building, straight through the settlement.
Do you believe Arcadia shall ever return to how it was?
I wish. Between the invaders, the order defecting, there's no putting this sprat back into the can.
Oyster is looking...
I remember this place before the war. Functioning.
Do you believe Arcadia shall ever return to how it was?
I wish. Between the invaders, the order defecting, there's no putting this sprat back into the can.
Oyster is looking pretty good right about
Thus, if we... And then we solve for the... apologies. Just catching up on a research assignment between queries. Yes? Did you need something? Oh, doesn't everyone have that memorized? It's 1.77245385. Ah, I see you were making a jest and/or attempt at conversation. Anything else? Typically, no. And it has been somewhat challenging focusing my concentration. The abbot felt a scientician operating in a conspicuous spot in the thoroughfare might be useful. An illustrative way for our guests to see how we operate. To show how the crabble patties are made, as it were. That is, if the meat preparation involved a 90-step rate formula and a conflux of polynomial equations. I am also on hand to answer queries by providing data supporting our actions. Though perhaps due to my central location, 89.74% of the time, I am simply asked for directions. They must be exceptionally pleased with the statistical jump correlated to residents within Matriarch's Mercy. Numbers here are pretty compelling. According to data, life inside shows a notable uptick in key relevant quality of life factors. Longevity, access to medicine, potable water. Life outside sees increased risk of starvation, inclement weather, and hostile xenofauna. Yes, indeed. Numbers are really against you out there. We have diverted internal resources to better meet demand in key areas. And I'm pleased to say that's led to a statistically significant 2.7% increase in refugee satisfaction. But if my data remains unconvincing, I suggest you inquire with Provisioner Plotnik inside the lift building. Simply tell her Archivist Widmark approves brief use of her time. Then back to it I shall get.
Hey.
Commander, you got a minute to talk? I got some thoughts on this situation with the refugees. The number of folks seeking refuge from the war is, well, it's beyond what I expected. And beyond what the Order is capable of handling, seems like. Andes may not be faring much better here, but we could at least find enough work for these folk to buy some food. You sure? The Order seems a whole lot more concerned with dazzling the populace with numbers than anything else. It's a tough situation, that's all I'm saying. But if the Order can't even manage tens of folk at their doorstep, they ain't gonna manage much better should they win the war. I'd like to believe that. But frankly, I got some other concerns. I went through this myself when Anti's Choice took over Tau Ceti. It took time to secure the merger, but once they did, we folk got the help we needed real quick. And all they wanted in return was the signing of an employment contract. Now, I ain't seeing any contracts in Matriarch's Mercy, so what is the Order actually gaining by doing this? In all my years, I ain't encountered many folk who would extend a hand and expect nothing in return. I mean, I'd not have asked for your help with my graft if I didn't have something to offer in exchange. Well, maybe I misjudged the Earth Directorate after all. Anyhow, if the Order is in fact helping these folk with no hidden aims, then, well, I'll be the first to admit that there might just be merit in what they're selling. Appreciate you hearing me out.
Oh, try not to get too close. My sinuses are stuffed up, my ears are backed up, and my guts are gurgling. I could burst at any moment. Every fluid from every orifice. So keep your distance. Don't want it, don't need it. I've gotten sick at least a dozen times since we set up camp. Why, last week alone, I caught hack lung, sprat tongue, skinny teeth, and a rare case of mortified skull emergence. Figured I might as well get used to being sick. So I'm practicing for my next disease. It's gonna be a nasty one. I think it's downright awful what's happened to these fine folks. But me especially. Sickness, malnutrition, spontaneous genetic disorders, it never ends. You too. Trust me, you don't want to catch this. Neither do I, for that matter.
How long are we meant to stay here?
Ask the Order. I'm not in the prediction business.
How long are we meant to stay here? How long are we meant to stay here?
Ask the Order. I'm not in the prediction business.
Broke my nose last scrap. I banged him up real good for you, didn't I? I won you one, right? Matters settled.
The void you did. Barely connected. You're thinking of 2-3 scraps ago. You've been mostly unconscious a while now. You ought to talk to Boss Tilda. She's the brains in this... What does she call it? Oh, yeah. Quasi-illicit shenanigan.
Doesn't like to look at us when we're all banged up. Said my face turned her off Borstloaf.
Anyhow, head down the hill along the fence. Tell her Mapother and Mudge sent you.
Where do we go now? Another refugee camp? Another colony? What happened to this place? Where do we go now? Another refugee camp? Another colony?
I predict with an 8.23 margin
Ruth
of
Bassar
error that
is
our
the first
situation
among equals of the Laureate Council. Apologies, outsider. As a vicar, I am usually tasked with guiding non-order lay people, such as yourself. Lately, the abbot has tasked me with the education of the refugees in our care. You are, of course, free to stay to be enlightened by my lecture, but I don't need an abacus to predict your path lies elsewhere. Well, if it's in the displaced's best interests, I imagine I can find a moment. Yes, I reckon I do have my ear to the grimy dirt floor of Matriarch's Mercy. I hear what common lay people are saying, and the wide array of bodily noises they make. Suppose I, more than any other member of the Order here, connect with non-scienticians. I've begun daily lectures, including practical advice on efficiently planning their days. I frequently launch into extended orations on everyone's favorite topic, math, and meticulously expatiate on our sex origins in the most rigorously pedantic detail. Oh dear, I got ahead of myself, didn't I? That's an occupational hazard around here. As I'm sure you've read in recent dissertations doing the rounds, education has proven to have a 13.7% increase in overall quality of life. I am single-handedly making a difference here, with constructive pointers on efficient scheduling, lessons on order history, plus some mathematics for a little added razzle-dazzle. Never as many as I would like, perhaps, but my little congregation grows by the hour. Eventually, my unsophisticated layperson friend, the knowledge just seeps right in. Give it a few years and they'll even be asking questions. Welcome. Have you come to bask in the Order's knowledge?
1,068.5 pardons, but my attention is presently 99.81% occupied, coordinating provisions and supplies for the displaced. Well, if the Arctis said so, I suppose I can factor out a moment. As the assigned provisioner, I am responsible for coordinating the requisition and distribution of comestibles, medicinals, and miscellaneous vital supplies. The overwhelming majority of my time is dedicated to this, leaving only moments to see to the Order's needs in the settlement. But it is an effort I undertake with great relish. You may not have noticed, but the refugees do not want for food or medicine. With the great disruption that has occurred to their lives, one can hardly blame them. That they are fed and remain healthy is sufficient for me. The Order of the Ascendant is dedicated to the ascension of humanity. Our ultimate goal may not be reached in our lifetime. If I can help others in need today, I shall do so to the utmost extent of my abilities and resources. Appreciate you respecting my time. Yes. You may peruse to your heart's content, but do so speedily for my sake.
What is it? I have 15 seconds of allotted time for non-specific discourse, so choose your words with expediency. Oh, new arrivals. Of an independent operative nature, one presumes. Did the abbot assign you to help? Yes. Unfortunately, you are the first to notice. Infrastructure requests from the displaced exceed present resource capacity. The mounting accumulation of prevailing desideratum is regrettably beyond us. Or beyond me, more to the point. I am simply one person, impossibly stretched thin, and unable to attend to the needs of the displaced. One priority concern stands out. Well, something of a dispute, really. One where my latest near-future prognostics report may provide some guidance. Tell me, what do you know of the exclusion zone? Excuse me, but the intricate dance of the cosmos is anything but shady. You see, the seer predicted that a calamity would befall the exclusion zone, warning that the barrier must not be crossed. But the ever-disruptive voice of the displaced is dead set on occupying the exclusion zone anyway, laughing in the face of certain peril. Surely, but the abbot asked me to be personally responsible for their continued well-being. The seer has augured death for anyone who enters the exclusion zone. Yes, you heard me right. Death. Furthermore, and I quote, "An outside mediator, having earned the confidence of both sides, has a high likelihood of clearing up an ongoing dispute. We can't have the voice of the displaced sowing disorder. Will you help us? Will you be our outside mediator, as was foretold?" The first step is to familiarize yourself with every angle of the dispute. Talk to the people of Matriarch's Mercy. The displaced want the exclusion zone. We want it kept off limits. We can't both be right. Feel free to speak with the voice of the displaced herself if you aren't already acquainted. Any questions before you get started? I can tell you she's a rabble-rouser of the highest order. Still, she cleaves to her principles. That's something. You can find her outside, among her people, stubbornly defying an order barricade. Novice Seer Vicarage should have ample time to illuminate you on the Order's forecast modeling methods. He's just down the room from here. According to predictions, yes. Or at least, my interpretation of them. I am reasonably certain. More than usual, in fact. Many people around camp support or object to our methods. Speak to them, form your own opinion, and when you are ready, you will decide the fate of the exclusion zone. Scienticians around the settlement inform me you've made some inquiries. Good, good. Continue poking around further, though. You must earn both sides' trust, you know. Have you spoken to all representatives of the Order? All of the displaced? The Doctor? The questionable types from Sub Rosa? Investigated the containers? If not, do. Well then, if you need me in the meantime, I'll be here, up to my ocular organs and requests. Good. Check in with me once you've made significant progress. As with probability, there is an art to mediation, and it requires a well-rounded perspective. Besides what I've already told you, to put it gently, disorganized, which is irregular for a group that prides itself on mathematical acumen. But with effort, patience, and collaboration, I am confident that Matriarch's Mercy will soon be a haven for the displaced.
By the law. It's you.
Oh, thank the architect you're finally here. I've scarcely breathed while hoping you'd come. I am in desperate need of your help. True, but the Order's predictions know you better than you know yourself. Recently, I had a rare opportunity to ask the Seer for guidance. He told me that a dashing outsider would answer my prayers. I feared the prediction was a fluke, but here you are, a dashing outsider standing before me. Where to begin? There are so many sick and wounded in Matriarch's mercy, and I have but 2 imperfect hands. I am but a humble general practitioner. What I really need are specialists, and the Seer predicted an outsider would find them. My thanks, stranger. Probability is on our side. The Seer gave me a datapad with explicit instructions that I not read it, for my intervention could only throw probability into disarray. Now, take the datapad, with my thanks. How can I be of service? Since you aren't a refugee, I hope you understand that I cannot offer my goods free of charge, but my prices are fair.
You're right. The universe does not orient itself toward fairness. But it's my firm.
Ah, I pleasantly anticipated this exact moment. My personalized order prediction and weekly prognostics report both mentioned encountering an unforeseen factor about now. I suppose that designation doesn't wholly apply to you, though, does it? Predicting future events is an imprecise science. Currently, that is. Well, then. I read that you'd have questions about our predictive methods, correct? We utilize a mix of proprietary research methods to gather as complete a data set as possible, and advanced calculations using well-honed models to effectuate it. None of us predict events with complete accuracy or absolute detail. We'd need to solve the universal equation to do that. Fortunately, we're all working very hard on that problem. The Department of Predictive Analysis provide weekly prognostics reports and personalized order predictions to help steer our followers' paths. The Department of Predictive Analysis is mainly populated by seers like myself, who represent the Order's most talented mathematicians. After years of study, some can predict events a few seconds or minutes into the future with reasonable precision. Others can estimate with up to 71.1% accuracy several months out. Of course, predictions have grown more difficult with the loss of the archive, but I am not to speak of that with an outsider. No offense. Unforeseen factors, random elements, anomalous outliers, incalculable variables, all of them can undercut the accuracy of our predictions. But as we close in on solving the universal equation, unknown unknowns will become known unknowns. Then finally, known knowns. You follow? Matriarch's Mercy is brimming beyond capacity with those cast out by war. But we of the Order rise to every challenge and continually strive to better our guests' existence. Why, I, for instance, have availed my predictive methods to our refugee neighbors in the area. I share the very same surprise. Engagement is admittedly rather low, but at least one member of the camp reports he has benefited from them greatly. One of our recent guests, Rolo Nast, has received multiple personalized order predictions. I believe he could speak to the effectiveness of our ways firsthand. If my own humble assertions are not enough, I trust his attestations would convince you, and perhaps other members of the displaced as well. True, my situation does lack a certain refinement. Regrettably, this is Matriarch's Mercy. We all must do the best we can with limited means. Well, I do believe you're needed elsewhere. Farewell.